Well, hello.
Hey.
Afternoon or morning, Mel?
So I'm quite interested actually today because this is a monumental thing that you guys are doing. And so this is all about a UNESCO Code the Curve hackathon program for everyone over the age of 16. And you're obviously Melissa Sassi, and you're a chief penguin, whatever that is, at IBM.
Yeah,
I don't
I've
know
got my shirt.
quite what a penguin is. I thought I'd do the ladies first thing, Tim.
Of
And
course.
you are Tim Chase, and you're not far from me, but we can't even have a beer, buddy, because we're stuck
No.
indoors, right?
No.
So you're the founder of True Challenge, which is the platform that's going to help these guys to get this challenge rocking and rolling, right?
Exactly that.
Super. So this is basically in response to and mitigating the response to mitigating the risk, right, for COVID-19. And it's basically you're encouraging people over the age of 16 to create some kind of solutions. Yeah, is that fair to say?
Yeah, exactly. So we've got three areas that I'm sure Mel can go into much more detail than I can about the three main areas that we feel that could have a bit more help for COVID-19. So Mel, do you want to kind of?
Yeah. So the first one is education. So access to learning and continued learning. I think if you look at 49% of the world is not online. So imagine, not having access to education, in your corner of the world. And this is something that is impacting significant swaths of the population right now. There are more than 1 billion young people who are at home due to COVID-19 school closures, and COVID-19 is impacting 163 or 183 countries.
86 now, yeah.
Is it 186?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't keep up with it. But so the first thing is access to education. Second thing is data and information management. And then the third theme is health and social issues. So imagine empowering the world to create technical solutions and bringing a team together to respond to or mitigate the impact of COVID-19.
Wow. So can you elaborate with what it is exactly that you're encouraging people to do? I mean, do these people need to have coding experience? Do they need to have ideas? Do they need to be in teams? Because I know you mentioned that someone in the team needs to be below 21, but some
25.
of the other 25. Oh, okay, that's cool. So it's over 16. So someone needs to be in the team between 16 and 25, and then everyone else can be
person. That's exactly right.
as old as me, perhaps. Yeah,
or me.
I'm sure about
that. Or Gray, right?
Yeah.
But
or my grandpa. My grandpa could join too. Well,
Yeah.
actually, he's not alive anymore, but if he was, he could join too.
Wow. So it's all to do with technology, and technology needs to be an enabler for this solution, which is going to make people's lives better. I mean, that's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, go ahead, Tim.
No. So yeah, Mel came to me with the idea because we've worked together on a few things. So True Challenge is a platform that's, I kind of imagine YouTube 2.0. So rather than just watching a video of something going on, you can upload yourself doing what they're doing in the video. So we do challenges, for example. You upload your video yourself doing it, but then you can watch everyone else doing it and watch everyone else's responses. So Mel and I got together to do a project for IBM Z, which was a Did You Know challenge. And that went so well that she kind of sent me a message. I think it was probably 3 o'clock in the morning, which is usually the best time Mel sends a message around. Some sort of profanic word in there as well, which I won't go into in your professional podcast, saying, I've got a great idea. I want to get you involved. I think my response was, I'm in. I didn't even ask what it was.
Yeah.
And she went, okay, let's have a call tomorrow. And she went, okay, fine. So then she told me about Hackathon, and it kind of not spiraled out of control, but it just evolves quite, I'd say organically, but Mel's been pushing this really, really well. And it's quite impressive seeing her working yet again. And she's kind of got all the collaboration together. So it's not just a hackathon. It's actually, Mel's got a number of organizations to offer training on the back of the hackathon. So it's kind of like, here's my idea. And then we put SAP and IBM put together the training how to deliver those. So it's talks, it's training sessions, and all that type of stuff that's Mel's put together. That's then helping UNESCO. So all those companies are backing UNESCO.
Right.
Push this out to all the kids around the world, all the people around the world to get involved.
Sounds very interesting.
Exactly.
So, is there room for other companies to come and support this, or is it a closed box right now, closed ecosystem?
I would say reach out. You know, we need mentors, and I think we're pretty well set when it comes to, you know, speakers for the training activities. So I'll just walk through the play-by-play.
Yeah.
So we launched on Monday. We are closing the application process on the 15th of April. In order to apply, all you need is a video. And in order to kind of figure out a little bit more and read a little bit more about what we're doing, you can go to CodeTheCurve.org. When you go to CodeTheCurve.org, you'll see all of the prizes, you'll see the timeline. But again, all you need is a video, an idea. And your video should include, what's your idea? What's the solution that you think you want to build or do? Who are you trying to impact? And that's it. So it's not this big application process that you see with a lot of different initiatives out there. And we're looking for interesting and creative ideas. And it's not just about youth. I think it's also a way of, you know, empowering the research community, empowering the medical community, and really bringing everyone together to create solutions in one of those three themes that we talked about. So we'll go through and announce the winners. So essentially, we'll select 40 teams from around the world to participate out of all the applications. So imagine there's about 13 or so in each theme. And again, remember, there's three themes: access to education, information and data management, and health and social issues. So if you imagine, that's kind of the gamut of stuff, right?
Yeah.
We'll provide access to resources after that, where people participating will have free access to IBM Linux One Community Cloud, which means that you have the opportunity to develop in an open source environment. We'll also provide a machine learning lab. So imagine you roll up your sleeves and you're really learning machine learning and artificial intelligence. You're getting code patterns to help you do that. And you're also utilizing the power of an enterprise grade solution that you wouldn't normally have access to otherwise. So a lot of really exciting stuff, including some other, you know, training activities that are happening through Internet Society, for example. My good friend Miri Rodriguez is going to do a talk on storytelling. And if you think about the training, it's going to have three components. First component is professional development. Second component is entrepreneurship. So think about, how do you define your mission, your vision, your value proposition, create a business model, define your audience, all of these kinds of things. And then the final one is technical. So in order to participate, you should have some basic data science skills. You should have some basic Juniper Notebook skills. We'll send out tutorials in advance. So I wouldn't envision that you know, someone who doesn't have any coding chops would immediately apply, but we will provide, you know, a database for anyone who's got a great idea to be able to recruit a data scientist, to recruit a developer to join the team. So on the 22nd and 23rd is when we'll do the online learning. The hackathon is the 24th through the 26th. And the winners of the hackathon will get free access to IBM Linux One Community Cloud for a year. So you've got your whole dev environment without having to pay anything for a year. Free courses from OpenSAP. And for the winner of the data track, so remember I mentioned one of the tracks was data and information management. The winner of that track will get free access to an enterprise-grade IBM Z and machine learning suite for 6 months, which is something, again, you wouldn't normally have access to. And then the final thing is mentorship for a year. So how do we help people create ideas and bring them to life and let people like UNESCO know what's going on? And we're also partnering with UN Equals, for example, from the ITU. We've got some great judges lined up. I know I've been going on and on and on, so I want to let Tim maybe share anything that I missed.
You didn't miss anything. You covered it all.
I know, when I'm on a roll, I just go.
No, I just let you go with it. And that's why I said I'm in at 3 o'clock in the morning, rather than for asking for any further questions or any further information. I'm like, I'm in, just tell me. But yeah, no, so it's, yeah, so I think it's a great opportunity. And the reason why we were initially saying is age 16 and above is not we're necessarily targeting the youth. We just want to make sure that they feel like they have a voice and are able to get involved in it as well. So it's anyone who has a solution, anyone has an idea for a solution. Now more than ever, the world needs people to step forward and lend a hand. And the 3 areas that Mel covers, a massive important one that sort of appeals to me is the data and information, or misinformation. So how can we stop misinformation going out? Nathaniel and I are obviously based in the UK, and we had a bit where apparently ibuprofen, if you got the coronavirus, ibuprofen was going to make it even worse. That came from absolutely nowhere. Fortunately, one of my friends is the head of infectious diseases for the NHS. So I sent him a message, and he was like, absolute nonsense, based on no clinical research. It's just someone putting it somewhere because they probably had chickenpox, because it's not good if you've got chickenpox. They've gone from that.
Wow.
So, but that is ridiculous. That could make a difference for someone. And it's that.
And I think that's one of the other, pieces of the training. So UNESCO, one of their, major initiatives is around combating media misinformation and disinformation, and empowering people with media literacy. And that will be a component, of the training as well. And again, that'll be led by UNESCO. And honestly, I expect to learn a lot from this as well. So I'm super excited to lead some of the talks, and also to learn. And again, all it takes is a video with an idea, and we've got 40 teams that we're going to select. And again, the website to apply is at CodeTheCurve.org. In terms of learning more information, there's a link to my blog post that contains the criteria that we'll be using for judging. So if you want to know what does it take to make it, it's all written in there. We're telling you everything.
Wow. That sounds like a really great program, actually, because so basically you're giving people the opportunity to start a business very, very quickly and get it up and running very, very quickly. So how much would 6 months of AI and Linux One cost if you were an enterprise and you paid for that service?
That's a great question. And I think for IBM Linux One Community Cloud, typically we provide, free access for a defined period of time, but this actually goes longer than that. And, I think that there are different configurations, when it comes to IBM Z. So I would be remiss if I said, oh, the value of that is X. But it's a pretty exciting, opportunity to gain access to an enterprise grade solution. I mean, how many young people out there, how many startups have the opportunity to, use a system like this?
Well, it could be that there's a group of people, we don't say they're young or they're old or what age they are. There could be a group of people that are waiting to start a business, don't have any savings, don't have any investment, are waiting for this opportunity.
Yeah.
They can go ahead and go, do you know what? We've got our stuff together. We know what we can do. Let's come up with a solution for this. And on the back of this, we can start our business.
Of course. And classes, like a school class in a school could come up with an idea around this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like even if they were 10th grade, if they had a friend or a brother or a sister who was 16 to 25, right, they could kind of get involved with this. Yeah. But this kind of stems from your mission, isn't it, Mel? Your mission is to give digital skills to the world, right? Like, and you've got a very inspirational story, which we've talked about on other podcasts, and we don't need to go over it again today, but people can visit our podcast. I'll drop the link somewhere for that as well. But like, you've helped thousands and thousands of kids to get online, right? How many thousand is it now?
Oh gosh, if I think about my past life, before I joined IBM, I was part of an initiative that was all centered around internet access and bringing digital skills to people without. So in that particular gig, if you will, we had 75 projects in 25 countries, started out in sub-Saharan Africa, worked on tribal land in the United States, so Native American reservations, and from activities from Kenya to Nepal, to India, to rural America. And then now that I'm at IBM, it's really been, tens of thousands of people who I've interacted with. And I also have my own nonprofit that I run. And I say I run it, but it's really youth-led and youth-run. And I'm more the mentor. But we've taught tens of thousands of kids to code in 12 countries, and have we're doing a lot of digital stuff now. We have a co-working space in Tunis, which, due to COVID-19, we are not, obviously inviting people in, to work in our IoT and robotics lab. But, for me, this is not just about, you know, me being a developer advocate at IBM or thinking about IBM technology. It's really about my broader mission of empowering people to transition from consumers of technology into creators, makers, and doers empowered by technology.
Got you. So, I mean, even if people don't actually win this, right? Like the coaching that they're going to get is second to none. I mean, just to learn about branding, yeah, like that's it's got to be like a couple $1,000 in itself as a course. I mean, like I've been very fortunate. I've been trained, you know, I understand about that anyway, yeah. But like, if I hadn't, it would be fantastic to learn from your friend. I think she's very good. I know she's written a book recently and whatever her name is.
Storytelling.
Yeah. And
she's gonna be doing that course.
Yeah, and you know, that's worth attending as it is, right? Like that's a great giveaway. Do you know what I mean? It's like that would get in some of these people anyway, yeah. And you know, I don't think people need to worry about an actual business model until they get in, because it's like, if they have just that one spark of an idea, right, a 30-second video would or 45 seconds would tell it all, right?
Video, like you can even get your, you know, your iPhone or your Android or whatever, and just, you know, film yourself. It's really all about the idea. It doesn't have to be, it can be totally scrappy. You know, it's really about how do we bring, you know, new ideas to the world, and how do we, you know, provide, I think, a virtual, engaging, and fun opportunity for people to take part in, you know, while they're at home.
Exactly. I think because the True Challenge platform where it's hosted, we'll be sharing out, or CodeTheCurve will be sharing out some snippets of the responses to get people excited about what other ideas are going on. So it could be that a business is an existing business and they come up with an idea, and it's a good way of almost self-promoting what they're doing as well. So it's almost a marketing opportunity for them, because IBM and SAP will be sharing a potential response from them. You know, it's not, obviously the reason for doing it is to help rid the world of COVID-19 and things, but it's a good kind of byproduct of that.
Yeah.
Well, the other cool thing is we've got some amazing judges. So Doreen Bogdan, who's the elected director of the ITU, which is the first woman who has joined the International Telecommunication Union in that capacity, which is essentially the IT branch of the UN. She is one of our judges. We've got the head of CSR from SAP. She's one of our judges. Stephen Ibaraki, one of my mentors and friends, who he's very active in startup community. He is very active in you know, AI for social good. He might have even created the damn thing. He's just a complete rock star. So we've got some really amazing judges, in addition to Moez Shekshul from UNESCO, who is you know, a senior individual within UNESCO's organization. I've got some other exciting news about, you know, judges, but I'll hold off on that until I get those confirmed.
Right,
so imagine you've got a new idea, and you can put that right into the hands of, you know, people who are, you know, running branches of the UN.
Yeah. This could be absolutely huge, right? I mean, you know, for the business that wins, I'm sure it will be, because you're not gonna pick something that hasn't got a commercial viability about it anyway. You know, like it's you know, with the judges involved. I mean, it would have to be commercially viable after COVID-19, but also quick to get started, I would imagine, and it would be something that would impact the world very quickly, right? I mean,
I guess it depends what you mean by commercially viable. So commercially viable could mean it's a self-running business.
Yeah,
well, it's to make money eventually. Otherwise, how are you going to pay for IBM storage, right?
Yeah.
You know,
by solving the world's problems of COVID-19, and IBM can pay for it, they can trouser it.
Yeah,
we're going downhill fast. I'm getting tired over here.
I'm not sure about that one, buddy.
I tried to step in.
I'm not sure Stephen would appreciate that. You know Stephen, right? He wouldn't appreciate that at all. He's like, no. He's the sales guy, yeah. He manages like a team of like 57 sales reps, IBM Z or whatever, right? And if he heard you say that, he will listen to this, yeah. And he's going to go, no.
But I mean, if I was empowered to give everything away for free forever, I would do it. But I have bosses that I have to oblige. But no, I'm really excited about the prizes that will be available, through our network, whether that's mentorship or the systems access that we've talked about. And I think that it's just a wonderful opportunity for people to take the energy and the social isolation that we're all going through now and put it into something that enables to make the world a better place.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And your platform sounds brilliant, Tim, especially involving the people with involving the comments, having conversations online and this kind of stuff. It sounds super cool. I think I've heard of it, actually. I have heard of it.
Oh, are you flirting with me?
No, man, I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it. What's that, Mel?
Huh?
What's that?
Oh, I said I probably told you.
Yeah.
I think she might have done.
Yeah.
So I'm not flirting with you, buddy.
So we're a startup. So we started in the world of sports, really, and then Neil Catamol introduced Mel and I, and we came up with the idea for.
Neil's gonna watch this too.
It's your fault. And we came up with the Did You Know challenge. So our platform was built for on the back of the Ice Bucket challenge. So social media is okay for doing reach and telling stories, but actually for challenges is actually not a great platform for it because you're relying on people using the right hashtag. The Ice Bucket challenge was the biggest one, and people kept on using the wrong hashtag and didn't use it correctly. Now on the back of that, so many brands and businesses do use challenges. We basically have a safer environment for kids to get involved and do challenges. So we started off with sports, and our first challenge was with the football club AS Roma. And if we had 30,000 views in 6 weeks, we'll be overachieving massively. And we got 1.7 million in 2. So they went, oh, we've now had to grow up quite a little bit now. So we kind of grown from that. And now the last challenge, we did one with Fred's Manchester United, a player called Fred from Manchester United, and they're using the platform, increased his engagement by 88% and increased his audience by 41%.
Wow. Do you think that will help them with their recent PR blunder?
Yeah, it depends which one you're talking about. Depends which one you're talking about.
Went downhill fast again.
I think that they just seriously upset all their fans. They upset anyone that isn't even a football fan. That's going to take years to get over that. That's the worst blunder I've heard of in the COVID-19 scandal. Yeah, it's shocking. Yeah,
Liverpool.
So maybe you should share with people who are not following it what actually happened. Was
it Liverpool or Man United?
It was Liverpool.
It was Liverpool. That's it. It was Liverpool.
They tried to furlough all their staff.
Yeah. But that's damaged the whole Premiership, right? Like everyone's cringing. Yeah, I can't believe I thought it was. I'm not into football.
That's why I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm sorry about that.
That's fine.
Well, that's why I asked you to clarify to make sure that we're,
That's why it's good. It's good to have Tim because he clearly knows a lot about football. I would imagine.
Yeah.
Enough
to get myself in trouble, I think is the phrase.
Well, I don't do football. Sorry about that.
Nice. What's your sport then?
I quite like martial arts. Quite into martial arts.
UFC.
Yeah, I'm more into like
origami.
Wrestling, bit of boxing.
Origami.
Yeah.
What's that?
Origami, making those pretty.
Yeah. No. I'm into giraffes. Look, you see my giraffe?
Oh yeah.
Let's not do the show and tell thing again.
I have a penguin, and it says idea on it.
Oh, that's very cool.
What have I got?
Wait, I've got a Python block.
Oh yeah.
What do you think? Java.
Did you say block?
Look at you.
Yeah, block.
Anyway,
I just don't know. I lose all track of time.
Back on track.
Really.
So the platform is about engaging with kids. So the kind of natural step for us was to go and work with Mel, and that performed incredibly well as well. And then Mel kind of kept us. We were talking about a few other things. Then COVID-19 happened. And she sort of said, "Look, let's refocus because we're going to do some stuff in the West Indies, weren't we, with your coded project in the West Indies.
We've got some really fun stuff that we've got cooking.
Cool.
But yeah, I would just say, I think we've kind of covered, all of the stuff that, is the secret sauce of applying, what the education looks like, how many teams we're going to select, what that makeup of the team looks like. And again, the place to go is CodeTheCurve.org.
Exactly, CodeTheCurve.org.
Yeah, and using Code the Curve in social media and encouraging people to participate. Or you can always find me on Twitter. I'm at Mentor Africa with a K. So any questions, or you want to tweet at me and ask me anything, I'm there.
Super. Well, thanks, guys. It's been really interesting.
No worries. Always a pleasure to talk. Always a pleasure to talk to Mel.
It is.
All right, good.